Okay, thank you. Yep. Well, back on Monday again, and excited for this week. We're looking forward to the game. Going back on the road, it was good to be home for this game over the weekend against TCU, and love that the team was able to bounce back from the loss that we experienced it in Lubbock, and but it was good to be home, play that game in front of our fans, and now that we got a home game done with, it kind of refreshes us and get us ready to get back on the road again and heading out to Eastern time zone and playing a really quality team. Looking at I've known Scott Satterfield for a while, and he's got a great reputation, does a great job with his team, and they played really well this year on film. They're dangerous, and they do some. I mean, they can put some points on you really quickly with Sorsby as a quarterback. He can run the ball and he can spread the ball out in the pass game, and then they can run the ball with their the running backs, and so it's a difficult team to prepare against. But defensively, they can make things difficult for you too. And I mean, they got one of my favorite players I like watching, in Dante Corleone. He does a great job up front, and I like his personality. I just like the overall like their team. I like the guys on their team, the leaders that they have, and people that we got to see at the media day and things like that. It's just you hear how they speak, and you hear about the culture and what Scott's doing there, and I just can't help but be impressed with what they're doing as a team. And this is going to be a big time game, and looking forward to the matchup. It's going to require us being at our best, and looking forward to it. We see it on film how dangerous they can be, and they're at home, and so there's a lot. There's a lot on riding on these games at the end of the year, especially when you're playing teams that are in the mix that are up there in the rankings when it comes to the standings of our conference. And so we know that, we understand that, and just like playing TCU, they're a great team that has won games and has got themselves ready for bowl games and things like that. So we know that this is going to take our best. We want to create more flow and momentum from last weekend, and looking forward to getting that done starting today with our prep. And so, what questions do you guys have for me?
We'll start off with Jake Hatch.
Yeah, Kalani, you mentioned Saturday night you're not necessarily worried about style points. You guys have big new kickoff showing up in Cincinnati. This is the third time I think you've had one of those national TV shows show up one of your games this year. How much do you think that, spotlight helps you guys when it comes to postseason opportunities and the like, if anything?
Well, when you said it, I know about style points. I know what style points are. I want to win. That's the key. You want to win. And people look at the metrics. I mean, we were favored to win by 3 points, and we won by a lot more than that. So I want to win, and I want to play at our best. And we can control the game, great. But if not, it comes down. Nothing's easy. You can't sit there going like we're going to go into this with trying to win with style. Like, I want to win the game first, and so I understand all of that stuff. And people running up the score is what style is, and okay, that I understand that whole concept. But I want to win the game first. That's the key, and that's going to be our focus. But you can't sit there and claim the game before you actually play it. You got to play the 60 minutes.
Next question from Jay Drew.
Kalani, you guys were just named the Big 12 Defensive Line of the Week. Your sack totals are way up from last year. What has just gone into developing that unit to be one of the strengths of the team, really?
Yeah, we thought they'd be good. We talked about developing them and getting them where they want to be. A lot of people question it. That's fine. We're playing really good football right now, and we're sitting in a really good spot. So D-line is improving. Everyone's improving. We're staying. We're working on our depth. You're starting to see a lot of the young guys start to step up and understand the scheme a lot more. And when you're doing that and everybody's clicking and doing the simple things right, it comes back to the fundamentals. If guys can do the simple things right and understand their assignments, and they get to play more, and eventually, we'll get them in the right spot. So I'm pleased with the way the guys are working, their belief in themselves and in each other and the system. And when they do that, good things can happen. But, it works hand in hand. The coverage has to be there in order for the pass rush to get there too. So it's usually a good sign if we're getting more sacks and more hurries, probably more disruption. If we can do things like that, then we'll have an opportunity to get interceptions and create some havoc.
Next question from Jake Hatch.
Faced a lot of good quarterbacks this season, Kalani. Where does Brendan Sorsby match up?
Yeah, he's right up there with all of them. I mean, you look at the stats and you can see he can make things really dangerous, and he's really difficult at home. You know, I think we know how that advantage can be, and so when teams come here in the mountains, it's a hard game to it's hard for people to figure things out, and I think that's been an advantage for us. We have to go on the road and play at Cincinnati against them, so they can be a different team, and especially when they have a lot to play for, and also this is their senior night, so there's a lot riding on it, and we know he's going to step up. I mean, the great players do it, and so we have to be at our best. That's going to be the key, but he can do all of it. I mean, he throws the ball, he runs the ball, he does everything right, and we have to figure out a way to disrupt him. That's not easy, though.
You mentioned Dante Corleone earlier. What do you just make of their overall team makeup? Because it seems like they're really reliant on Swordsy. What do you make of the overall Bearcat, squad?
Yeah, really good roster. You could tell that they have a really good culture in place. I mentioned Scott Satterfield. You could tell that he's done this before and he knows what he's doing. And so the guys believe in their coaches. They play really assignment sound football, and so it's not going to be easy, man. There's well coached teams in this league, and then you match that with great talent and great culture. I mean that's going to be difficult. So nothing's easy. You saw over the weekend how hard it is for guys to get wins, and even with that, the people can get yards on you. They can advance the ball. You have to find ways to gain victories, and usually that comes in disrupting things. And the stat that matters the most is the score. But everybody wants to focus on how you win, but they skip the part of actually getting the win first and securing it.
Next question from Jay Drew.
Kalani, I just wanted to ask, how did you guys come out of the game health-wise? And I think we saw Max Alford, who's been kind of a pleasant surprise this year, limp off the field. But how did you do health-wise, and can you just, what has Max kind of added to the team this year?
Yeah, Max has been really good for us, and creating some quality depth, especially when we lost Che. So Max filled in the position. He's super smart, and we were able to use him when we had some guys get banged up, when Jack and Glasgow and Seattle were a little banged up, and nobody's 100% right now. So after the game, we know some guys are still getting evaluated. We'll have probably more information for you on Wednesday, but we got some guys that were kind of banged up a little bit, but we'll be fine. Everybody's in the same situation where everybody's sore, and then there's some people that are because it's at the end of the year, are running on fumes. That's why you have to depend on your depth. And so we've been through this. We've prepped for it. We want all our guys to be ready to go. But if guys aren't able to perform, then the next guy will have to step up and make it work.
Next question from Mitch Harper.
Kalani, L.J. Martin said on Saturday that he played with a lot more confidence. He worked his way back from the injury. When L.J.'s playing with the confidence that he showed on Saturday, what does that do for this offense as you guys head down the stretch run?
Well, it's good. I think the physical part of the game is what he does, and so I'm not sure if he was ready altogether on when we played Texas Tech. I think maybe we could have benefited from him resting a little bit, but the moment was too big. He wanted to try it, and how can you say no to him? So, and it does make a difference when you get to heal a little bit. I think sometimes people think that the bye week is a magical healing week. You know what I mean? And sometimes things take some a little bit more time to get better, and we've seen that. I mean, we've had guys that have been banged up, and they're playing a lot better now than they did a few weeks ago or a couple weeks ago. So I think he fits in that same category. But what's really nice about LJ is his leadership and his ability to communicate with his teammates as a captain and as a leader for us.
And then wanted to ask you too, with the college football playoff ring, because I know you've said that you don't get caught up in that, but does it get a little frustrating at all that you're a team that's only one loss and you're sitting behind a handful of two lost teams?
No, when I say I don't really pay attention to it, I know it exists, guys. I'm not dumb. I know all the stuff that's out there. I know what people are saying in the metrics and analytics and the style points and all that stuff. My focus isn't on that. So I understand everything that's out there. I got to be focused on what we can control, which is playing football, and the preparation today. That's what I got to focus on. So it's nice that we're in the mix and that people are recognizing what we do. But what does that matter if we don't go 1-0 this weekend? So my focus and what I'm trying to keep the team focused on is the stuff that we can control. I know one thing: we go out there and play at our best, and I like our chances. But until then, I'm not going to sit here and campaign and waste my energy on stuff that I can't control. I don't know all the other people's schedule. I can't speak as an expert on everything because I don't know what everybody's done and what everybody's played. All I know is in my view of what I'm controlling with this team and what we have on our schedule, especially this week, that if we take care of business and you to do things one step at a time, then things should work out in your favor. And that's what I'm banking on happening. And that's what I want these guys to be focused on. It's hard to talk about 3 weeks from now when you can't even control what you're doing right now with everybody else. Let's just go play the game, be at our best, and then see what happens next week.
Next question from Jake Hatch.
Well, you highlighted him on Saturday night, but I wanted to ask about your young defensive end guys, Nusi Talmoe Peao, Tosili Akana, Kenny Fonohema. Like, what have they brought to this defensive line?
Yeah, they brought depth, added depth, and athleticism, and skill, talent, a lot of that stuff. And then when you have a deep team like that at a lot of different positions, then you can use different people. And when you have upperclassmen that are not selfish and that are bought into what the team is trying to accomplish, they realize that other guys can help them, and that maybe them them tired is not better than the young guys or the backups being fresh. And so what you're seeing is a nice rotation, guys that are trusting each other, and then doing it for the greater good of the team rather than just trying to get your personal stats. And so I appreciate all the feel for the team, the brotherhood that they have, and their willingness to share and understand that they don't have to do it all by themselves. And you can do that when you have depth and quality depth. And those guys are still babies, man. These guys are going to get big and stronger. I mean, they're going to be a force. And right now, it's good to see that they have they have an opportunity to contribute. But I think eventually, when they grow up and get bigger, it's going to be pretty scary.
Got another young player, Bear Bachmeyer. Talk about maybe taking the brakes off of him, but like, are you thinking you want to do more just traditional offense versus some of the max protects you've used in the past? Is that what you're talking about, and unleashing him, I guess?
No, I think we've kind of gone through this transition of bringing him along, and now that we're at this position, we can really do whatever we want. Challenged A-Rod, and they understand that was a plan going forward. We knew what we were trying to get done, and by the end of the year, we could do whatever we want depending on what we see as an advantage against who we're playing against. So it's just hard. We can think differently now going into this game 11 than we could back in game 1, even though it was an FCS opponent. So you can kind of just go step by step, and then we're in a position now where we can do whatever we want with him. Mentally, he was already there. He started studying and knew a lot of the other plays. The question is, we can't practice everything. We can only execute what we practiced this week, and so let's figure out what we do, what he does best, and what he's the most comfortable with, and then what highlights our talent and our skill, and then let's go into this game pretty much with whatever we want to accomplish. But that's not just game day. That's what we want to accomplish and what we want to prep this week with.
I got one more real quick. Bronco Mendenhall, not that long ago, was on a radio show saying he's already talked to certain players on his roster about essentially the future, like where their spot is on the roster. Do you have those communications with your players in season about what the future looks like for them?
Yeah, I think the key is creating a vision for everybody, and it's hard to do when you have 120 guys, but eventually you're going to have to get towards the end of the year. And I think there's a moment where everybody understands their individual contribution to the team, and then also their goals and what they want to do individually. So right now we're asking everyone to put the team first, and then we'll discuss what possibilities there are for them individually. But right now we got to buy into what we can do as a team, and eventually we'll get there. But there's conversations happening all over the place, and they're all separate. So like it's not like one conversation covers the entire team. It's all got to be, basically specialized for who that person is and how many years they have left and what they want to get out of this experience that they have in college football.
All right, do we have any other questions? Okay, looks like we're good. Thank
Awesome.
you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.